Hello and welcome to Mike's Garage. Let me start by saying if you haven't subscribed, please do. And when you do, by all means, please click on the little notification bell so you get notified every time we put up a new video. First, I've got to say, this sounds a little silly. I haven't gotten enough videos up lately. And believe it or not, I miss you. But it's true. I miss connecting with people. But I know that a lot of people are having difficulties connecting with each other. This is a very, very odd time. I'm trying to use this time to catch up on a few projects and things. I have some responsibilities, things that I promised I would do, I haven't gotten done yet, and I'm doing my best to get them done. So today, let's see, what have I got to get done? I've got things like I have to prepare a pair of cylinders and heads to go to Dave Mackey Engineering for a big fancy porting job. And one of the things I promised I want to do is when I get those heads and cylinders back from the machine shop, I'm going to want to show the work that's been done on them. They're really going to be things of beauty. They're from my buddy Jim. I built him a motor years ago and he loves the motor. Now he wants more, so we're going to get him more. Another thing is my buddy John, I promised him a wheel. I owe him a wheel. The wheel is almost done so I can get that sent off to him. Just a bunch of little things we're trying to catch up with. I had to make notes to say what we're actually doing. We've been working with the blasting system we have. We were working with baking soda, and it wasn't taking the stuff off that was really stuck really hard on some of the parts. So now we're going to the next media, and we're experimenting around with that. So we're getting that done. And I will show that when we get some really good blasting working right. Another thing is, of course, this time of year and middle of the COVID season, I don't know what else to call it. Anyway, I've got a headlight bracket on order. It's going to be probably a couple more weeks before I get that, and that'll be for the big flathead project. It'll be a bracket that I'll have to build a bracket underneath, but that's what I'm going to do. The next thing I need to get done is I've got a fender on the back of that flathead project that's an early, I guess I'd say probably early 1940s rear fender that's been bobbed, and I have shown that in previous videos, but it's got a bunch of little holes in it, filled with holes. And my usual routine of trying to do things the old-fashioned way, I'm brazing up all those holes by hand. I could take it to any good welder and he could dig up the holes and nothing flat, but no, I've got to sit there and braze each hole by hand excuse me, because I can. And that's one of the things I'm doing. So about all that leaves right now to show is we just moved the bikes out so we could clean the garage somewhat. I hear a siren in the distance. It's not for us. Anyway, so much for that rear fender. We moved some bikes out of the garage so we could get some work done, which is why Baby Doll's sitting here, the Knuckles sitting here, and I want to show cameraman Mike's bike. I'd like to show my cameraman Mike, but he's on the other side of the camera. So, Mike's latest project on this bike, this is a 2008 Dyna, and it's a nice motorcycle. And we've played with it a little bit. It has a tendency to fly. And a while back, I laced up a 21-inch front wheel for him. I think that was for his birthday. Anyway, Mike had a pair of saddlebags he wanted to put on this bike, and there were no brackets available to put them on. So he made his brackets. Now that bracket at the top of the bag is hand formed out of aluminum, and it goes down the back side quite a ways to stiffen the bag. And then there's a bracket on top that comes from the back of the fender strut. And then he bolted and riveted this whole mess together. And there it is. And I love the angle he set him at, the height he set him at. I think it just really flatters the motorcycle. It's a hard thing to put a pair of bags on a Dyna and make it look good, but I think he achieved it. We need bags around here. We like to travel and we need saddlebags. The next thing he did, typical Mike, he had to have these Rocketeer looking lights. And I'm so impressed with them, I can't believe it. They work as marker lights, and they work as turn signals, and they work as brake lights. They do everything. They even change colors from yellow to red to yellow, or amber to red and back to amber again. And I think they're cool. And he built that whole setup. So I just wanted to show I'm not the only one turns wrenches around here. So really, that's about all I have to show for today. We'll get another video out as soon as we can. But in the meantime, seeing as how we have motorcycles, see you out on the road.